Morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to the FPL Duo. This is a deadline stream, of course, on a Saturday morning. But yeah, it's a Double Gameweek 37 deadline stream. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. If you are just joining in, make sure you like and subscribe. How you doing, Jordan? Everything good with you?
Yeah, everything's good. Maybe a few dilemmas in terms of FPL, but I'm sure we can get over that in the next few hours. And I imagine a lot of you guys as well are going to be in sort of similar dilemmas due to obviously what's happened. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting deadline stream, I think.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, morning to you, Christian. Morning to everyone else as well. Let's pull up our teams and actually discuss, what we're looking like for Game Week 37 and our transfer plans. So, we've got Brian who's coming into the chat as well. Says hi, lads. Hi, Brian. Yeah, Game Week 37. Looking forward to it. Season's coming to a close. So yeah, in goal, I do have Edison in goal. Obviously, he has a double against Chelsea and Brighton. I have a back four currently of Estupiñán, Luke Shaw, Trent, and Trippier. I am playing Trippier, even though he's currently flagged. I've got a midfield five of Mitoma, McAllister, Salah, Mahrez, and Rashford. And then up front, I've got Haaland. Obviously, Rashford is a slight doubt. He came back from his injury, but then Ten Hag said he got ill, and he's probably looking like a doubt for that Bournemouth away fixture today. So, yeah, that does worry me slightly about Rashford, but he should play one game at least, probably against Chelsea. So, I am siding towards probably keeping him. But yeah, that's where it's at right now, my team. I've also got one free transfer, but it looks like I might roll. I might roll the move and have two free transfers for Game Week 38. And on the bench, I do have Isak, who I have decided to bench instead of Trippier. Obviously, I normally play the attacking player, but because it's Trippier with his ownership and Isak isn't as involved in terms of big chances when Wilson is playing. So that's why I've decided to put Isak on the bench for now. Brian says, seems another boring week, even though it's a double. Yeah, I'm not really excited for this double, if I'm being honest. Man City, I expected to rotate a bit potentially. Haaland might miss one. Man United assets like Rashford, who's probably a doubt. And Brighton, they've got Man City in one of the doubles, and Mitoma might get... Mitoma, I expect, actually, to get rotated out, to miss one of those games on the bench, probably. Jenny Berry, good morning, guys. Should I start Trippier, Dalot, or Kiwior? I would start Dalot, I think, with the double. Personally, I think Dalot, that's an easy choice for me. Yep, Dalot for me. Roman NFP. What's the deal with the minimum 5 matches played in the Premier League for a medal? Is this including FA Cup and EFL Cup? If so, is Ortega likely to come in for Man City once the title is secured? He's played 3 so far. I believe Brian is correct on this. Team now get extra medals they can give to other players, staff. Ortega can get one anyway. I think this is the case, but I think Edison could be rotated out for one of the games, from being honest. I expect Edison to play against Chelsea, but that Brighton game, because Man City will have confirmed the title, they could give Ortega a game. So that is one to worry about if you're an Edison owner. Might be a potential benching, but I'm going to play him anyway, I think. Yeah, Jordan, let's pull up your team. Just read us out your 11, the starting 11.
Okay, so starting off a goal, we've got Steele, who has Southampton, Man City at home, double game week fixtures. Moving on to defence, we've got Trippier, who's flagged, but he should be fine. Now he's got Leicester at home. Trent, who's got Aston Villa at home. And Shaw with the double with Bournemouth away and Chelsea at home. In the midfield, we've got McAllister and Mitoma, who have Southampton and Man City at home in the double. Rashford, who has Bournemouth away and Chelsea at home in the double. And De Bruyne, who has Chelsea away and Brighton away in his double. Moving on to the front three, we've got Wilson and Isak, who have Leicester at home. And finally, Haaland, who has Chelsea at home and Brighton away. And Haaland's currently the captain pick, with Shaw being the vice. And on the team bench, we've got Edison, who has Chelsea at home, Brighton away. Kilman, who has Everton at home. Morgan Gibbs White, who has Arsenal at home. And Mings, who has Liverpool away.
Okay, so that's your 11. Obviously, you've got one. Is it you got one free transfer, haven't you?
Yeah, I kind of wished I had two. I mean, sort of a panicking dilemma, I think.
What's your plans in terms of transfers then?
Well, considering that Kevin De Bruyne is probably not going to start, maybe in one of the fixtures, I'm thinking he won't even start in both. If I'm honest, he's pretty much. I've seen him a doubt in the Chelsea one, which gives me a bit of a scare because I don't want him starting either of them again, like he did before. But the idea was to take out De Bruyne actually, and this might be a bit of sideways taking out a double game week player, but it is gonna be for Bruno Fernandes, I think, just because I know Bruno Fernandes is gonna play both fixtures in the double. I'm just not convinced with Kevin De Bruyne whether he plays both in the double or not, and whether he will outscore Bruno. So I might be going back to Bruno again, and whether that works out or not, it does put my mind at rest that obviously he'll play both games unless he gets injured. But Bruno Fernandes, I think for me, for the one free transfer.
So that's the moves. I know you were considering a hit. Is there any chance? Because I mean, Wilson and Isaac against Leicester, it could be fine anyway.
Yeah, I was considering taking a -4 to take out Isaac and bringing Alvarez, but now that I look at it, I don't think that's really necessary, considering they've got Leicester at home, and Leicester look like they're pretty much relegated, so there's nothing much more to play for, whereas Newcastle, there is a little bit more to play for just to secure the top 4 place, so maybe keeping Isaac won't be such a bad idea.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, but yeah, this does seem like not an exciting game week for me anyway. In terms, I don't think I'll be making any moves. I'm probably going to save it for the last game week and try bring in someone different, maybe. Got a comment here from Abdu. Dalot and Solanke to Alvarez and Shaw for free. Definitely Solanke, I would probably remove him because Bournemouth have Man United, and then Dalot has a double. And Alvarez in as well, I think is a decent pick. So yeah, I would go there. Obviously, Alvarez has a double, could be a nice little differential as well. So yeah, I'd probably do those moves, and for free as well. So I think that makes sense for you to do that. But yeah, going back to my team, the only differential I really have that could pay off this week, I think, is Mahrez. I do expect Mahrez to play definitely at least one. I'm hoping two, but we'll have to see. I think Mahrez could be a good pick if you are looking for a Man City asset. I like Alvarez, obviously, but I do think Mahrez might be underlooked for this game week. Tendai. All right, boys, question for you. Would you bring in Shaw for Stones? Not sure the City man will play. Tempted by that Isak to Alvarez, though. But Wilson, captain last week, shot me up the rankings. Great stream, boys.
Thanks.
Jordan, what do you reckon? Would you do Shaw in for John Stones? First question.
I mean, it does make sense. It's like with Bruno, Shaw's going to play more minutes, I think, than Stones will. Stones could be a risk at rotation, especially when, obviously, maybe when Man City do officially win the title, if they win against Chelsea, then you'll see heavily rotation in their second fixture. It's against Brighton. So, yeah, I think bringing in Shaw for Stones is not a bad move. I think you can secure yourself with minutes with Shaw, where you probably can't with Stones.
Yeah. Obviously, Stones did play in that Madrid game as well, midweek. in that win. So he could miss out in one of those games, especially with Man City going to play against Man United in the FA Cup final plus the Champions League final. There could be some rotation. Ali Max says cheeky punt for me. Mahrez and Martial in for free. I like those moves. I think Mahrez, as I mentioned, I expect Mahrez to get quite a lot of minutes because of obviously he hasn't played as many minutes in the Champions League. He's been preferred to be played in the league when the rotation happens. So I expect him to start against Chelsea. And then against Brighton, if the league is done, Mahrez, Foden, these sort of players could be very nice differentials for a rank gain because they're going to be expected to play. And we know Man City attackers, if you're lucky that you have one and one that starts, then they could do really well. Has Rashford travelled to Bournemouth? Well, apparently he wasn't seen in the travelling squad in the pictures, but that might not mean much. I mean, he could have travelled separately. That has happened before, but apparently he wasn't seen in the pictures with traveling with the whole squad. So just putting it out there. However, I think I'm going to keep Rashford and then hope he starts against Chelsea. Basically, I still think I'll probably keep Rashford. But if you want to sell him, you're worried that he won't play both games, and you want to go to someone like an Anthony, and you've got a free transfer, and you could go to Anthony if you want another Man United player. Potentially.
Yeah, about that question, there was a tweet from Leaks Lineups on Twitter who literally just tweeted a few minutes ago that he can confirm, and he was informed earlier today, and the fact is correct, that Rashford did not travel with the squad to Bournemouth today.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. That's what I saw earlier, that Rashford hasn't travelled with the squad. But as I said, he could have travelled separately, but that could be a stretch as well. So we'll have to see. It's unlikely, I think. Should I captain Kane, Rashford, or Jesus? I don't have Haaland. I mean, I wouldn't be captaining Rashford just because he's going to miss one of those games. It looks like he's a doubt. Jesus has Nottingham Forest away, but Jesus hasn't scored in a while, so I'm not keen on Jesus either. Harry Kane has Brentford as well at home, early kickoff. I don't really like either of them, really. I mean, I'd rather captain someone like Mo Salah against Aston Villa at home ahead of those three players. I'm assuming you don't have him, but probably Kane if I had to pick out of those three. Would you agree, Jordan?
Yeah, I'd probably easily go for Kane, I think, because he's been really consistent through the season. He at least gets one goal from a game, even if Spurs are losing horribly, he still manages to score Harry Kane. So, yeah, I'd probably be more confident going with Harry Kane out of those picks, just because he's a efficient and consistent goal scorer. He has been this season.
Yeah, Harry Kane has consistently returned, regardless of how poor Spurs have been. So I think Harry Kane's the one. I mean, I'm sure you have like someone like a McAllister or another doubler in your team who I'd prefer captaining. I'd rather captain a double game week player. Martinelli to Eze or Trossard. Palace have Fulham away. I like Eze. Personally, I would be tempted to take that risk and go for the upside differential pick and go Eze for me. And especially in game week 38 as well, I'm looking at Eze's fixture. Eze has Nottingham Forest at home in game week 38. So Eze is a good pick for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll say Eze. Jordan question, 6.1 or below midfielders. Who are you picking?
6.1 million below defenders. What do we have on offer for 6.1 million
I'll let
below?
you check. Let me know when you're ready. Trippier to Shaw for -4. Oof. Possibly. I don't know. If Trippier plays and he starts against Leicester, he could get a clean sheet in that game. So I'm not sure I'd do it, if I'm being honest. But I would like Shaw in the team. I think Shaw is a good pick this week. Thanks for your thoughts, says Jenny Berry. No worries. Ali Mack, not have Fernandez worries me this game week. As a Fernandez non-owner, he worries me as well because a lot of people will be bringing him in. So in that sense, it does worry me going without him. But I can't get to him, as you can see from my team. The only way I can get to him in one move is if I sell Salah. Salah has Aston Villa at home, and Salah's actually been really good, for me recently. So if I take a look at Salah, in the last 3 game weeks, he's got 3 double-digit hauls. 12 points against Leicester, 10 points against Brentford, 12 points, I think, 11 points against Fulham, 7 points against Spurs. Salah has been consistently returning now for at least about 10 game weeks. Not 10, 9 game weeks. So, yeah, I don't want to sell Salah. Plus, Salah does have a very nice fixture next weekend in the final game week against Southampton. And I think Salah could be a little captaincy option next week against Southampton, especially with Haaland potentially missing out. But yeah, I think Fernando, going with that Fernandez defo does worry me a bit. Jordan, back to that question though. Any midfielders for 6.1 and below that you'd go for?
Well, there is one. It's probably Almiron. He's 5.4 million, and he does have Leicester at home. And because of Leicester, obviously, are pretty much relegated, and there's a lot to play for Newcastle still. And with Joel Linton having a yellow flag for a knock, maybe Almiron has another 90-minute game behind him, because he did play 90 minutes against Brighton in that 4-1 win. So I might be confident to see Almiron start against Leicester at home, and he could potentially pull something out of the bag. He is low owned at 12%, and he did get an assist, I think, against one of the Newcastle goals against Brighton. So I could go for him for a little cheeky punt. Apart from that, though, there's only really Crystal Palace I would probably go for, like Eze.
Yeah, I like Eze.
Or at least one of those two. But other than that, there's not really much really to go for under 6.1 million in the midfield.
Yeah, I think Eze, just showing you his Eze in recent weeks. I think Eze's done really well. 16-pointer in his last game against Bournemouth with the 2 goals. He also scored, I believe, in game week 34 in that win against Spurs. He also got another 2 goals against Southampton in game week 31 for another 16-pointer. So, yeah, I think Eze is the one. Definitely, I think is a good pick this week and next week. So you get 2 fixtures for him. And, since Roy Hodgson has come in charge of Palace, they've done quite well. So I think Eze is an easy one. Rashford to Anthony, or Rashford to De Bruyne, or Rashford to Salah and Zinchenko to Kiri, or -4. So Rashford to Anthony or Rashford to Bruyne. I think if you're chasing, Anthony could be a decent differential because not many people have him. And he's got a double, obviously, he's expected to play in both. Anthony could be a high risk, high reward move if you want another United player. I like Salah, as I said. I think Salah has a great fixture next week as well, and that's why I want to hold him till now at the end of the season. Isak to Alvarez for free, or Solanke to Alvarez, and risk going without Salah in 38. Jordan?
This is the move I sort of implemented for my team, but it wasn't for free. Isak to Alvarez is a good move, I think, if you can do it for free. And obviously Solanke to Alvarez and risk going without Salah in 30. I'll probably go for Isak to Alvarez for free. Does that still mean you still have Salah though in 38 if you do that, Elliot?
Isak to Alvarez for free, or Solanke to Alvarez. If he does Solanke to Alvarez, he can't get Salah in.
Right. Then I've probably still got Isak to Alvarez for free. I think Alvarez will play decent minutes in both the doubles, especially if Man City do finish it off against Chelsea.
Yeah, to be fair, I actually expect Haaland to play the full 90 in one of those games, and maybe miss. I wouldn't be surprised if Haaland starts both, as I said, and comes off early. when the game's done. That is because we've seen with Haaland, he plays every match unless he's injured. He's played every game really so far this season. But obviously, once the league is wrapped up, it does change things slightly. Captain Shaw or Kane, says Jenny. I mean, I'd like Luke Shaw if you're chasing because he's double. If he gets a clean sheet, then could be worth it. I would be tempted with Shaw captaincy if to be different. Obviously, Kane's got a single game week, and I always like captaining doublers if I can.
Yeah, I like the pick. I like Captain Shaw. If I was chasing rank, I'd probably go with Shaw as well. Yeah, plays the extra fixture, so you got another chance as well to maybe get another chance to get points from Shaw in the second one if he doesn't get in the first.
Yep, fair enough. Elise to Mitoma or Lindelof for a -4. I wouldn't sell Elise if you had Elise. I'd keep him. Which of my two potential transfer plan is the best? Isak and March out for Eze, McAllister, and Alvarez, or Rashford and Isak out for Mahrez and Alvarez, both -4 hits. Isak and March out for Eze, McAllister, and Alvarez, or Rashford and Isak out for Mahrez. I like Mahrez Alvarez. I think I like Mahrez Alvarez because I got Mahrez. I think he's a good pick. As I mentioned, when Mahrez starts, he's a very good pick. He did get assist against Everton. He also got 2 assists against Leeds. Like looking at it, his numbers. He also got an assist against West Ham. Mahrez does have 4 assists in his last 3 games. Sorry, 5 assists in his last 4 games. Mahrez. So, yeah, he is a good pick, and he helped me get a decent green arrow, I believe, in that one of those weeks when he had the double. Dan says, "Morning, guys." Morning, Dan. Trippier gonna play? I don't actually know, but he's a doubt. Currently flagged with a 75% chance of playing. He could be fine, but no one really knows. I don't think. But I think play him anyway. Hopefully have a decent bench, and then if not, if he does get benched, then you'll have someone to come on for him. I've got Isak first bench, so I'm not too worried if Trippier does miss out. Jordan, Nishal with a comment: bench one of Wilson, Mitoma, and Grealish.
Oh, that's impossible to pick because Wilson has Leicester at home, which looks pretty good for a single. Mitoma has a double against Southampton and Man City at home, and Grealish has a double with Chelsea and Brighton. I don't know who to pick in terms of that. That's really hard.
Surely you've got someone else that you could bench, like a defender. Like you rather bench any defender. Like I'd rather bench. I don't know who. I mean, I'm assuming you've got Trent, Luke Shaw, and Estupinian or someone like that in defense. Right, it's going to be hard. If I had to pick one, it probably will be Wilson. Even though I wouldn't want to bench Wilson because he's got a good fixture against Leicester and he's on fire a bit recently, scoring a lot of goals. So yeah, it's a tough one. But no, actually, I'd bench Mitoma. I think.
Yeah, I'd probably go say Mitoma. It's just the only thing with Mitoma is the rotation. I think.
Yeah.
That just about picks.
Grealish Grealish could get rotated out as well.
That is true.
So you want to play Wilson, I think, if you've got him. But I'll probably bench Mitoma. Dan, who do you think will get more game time, Mahrez or Alvarez? I think Mahrez will get more game time because Haaland is still, like, a lot of us are captaining Haaland, so we still expect Haaland to play a decent amount of minutes. So I think Mahrez is the one. Pep seems to rotate out Grealish and Bernardo, and he plays Mahrez and Foden, etc., in the games where he wants to rotate. So I think Mahrez is definitely going to play more minutes, I should say. Fazid, Mitoma to Mahrez or Rashford to Mahrez? I would go Mitoma to Mahrez, I think, if it was up to me, because Mitoma could get rotated for one of those fixtures. Because we saw with McAllister last game week in the last double, McAllister got the benching for the first fixture, I think it was. Sorry, the second fixture. And Mitoma's played now on the back-to-back games in that double. So that makes me, think that Mitoma's next up to get the benching because he hasn't got one yet. And Buonanetto, I think that's how you say it. I think that's how you say his name. He's there that can replace Mitoma. Obviously, Solly March is still out, but Brighton do have some options that they can play. So that's the way I'd be going. Jordan, you're going to do your transfers anytime soon, or you're going to lock them in, or you're going to wait?
Might leave this one a bit late. If I do hear news on Man City league lineups, if that's possible, then that might.
They're not the early kickoff. Checking when Man City actually play. They are obviously late kickoff, or they play Sunday, so we won't hear any team news surrounding Man City.
Then in that case, I might as well do the transfer moves then, because I won't be able to find out. Obviously, that.
Yep. There is 6 fixtures today as well. Farzid Rashford will miss the Bournemouth game. That's what it looks like currently. That's what the news is. He'll probably miss that one, but you never know. And either way, he should play that game at home to Chelsea, which could be a good game for Rashford anyway. So I'm probably going to keep Rashford at this rate. Also, guys, make sure you guys do smash a like button on the stream, and also make sure you're subscribed as well. Most nailed on Man United defender besides Shaw. I think if you're going for someone at the back line, and I think De Gea is the one I'd go for. If you can't get Shaw, De Gea would be my next best in that defense to get in. I think De Gea probably is the best double game week goalie as well, because he's going to play both games. Ederson might get rotated out. Steele has Man City in one of the fixtures, so I think De Gea might be the best goalie this game week. Alvarez v Enciso. What would you reckon, Jordan? See Brighton have a double, and Enciso could play. He did score, I think.
He did score, but then he did go off injured. So I wasn't sure whether he was.
I think he's fine. Yeah, I don't think he's flagged. I think he's fine.
And if he is fine, then yeah, I'll probably go. Probably go to be different. I know Alvarez is still different, but I'd like to go with Enciso.
Oh, Enciso.
Yeah, Enciso.
Okay, cool. I am tempted with Alvarez, but I think I'm not sure how many minutes Alvarez does play, because I have a feeling that Haaland's going to play 90 minutes against Chelsea. I know he played it against Madrid, or play at least 70 minutes, etc. Because we've seen with Haaland, he still plays most minutes.
Wasn't there a game where Alvarez and Haaland played? Yeah,
they did play together, which is possible. But even when they do, Haaland usually is the one that gets majority of the chances. But yeah, if you want to be different, they're both different, to be fair. Alvarez probably has a higher upside. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just roll now. I don't see me making any other moves. All right, let's go back to your team. So Bruno's in pretty much for you.
Yeah, I think Bruno is pretty much in for my team. So I'm probably just going to make the transfer there. So
Okay.
De Bruyne out for Fernandez, and that's 1 free transfer. And that is confirmed.
Okay, so you've just done Bruno in for De Bruyne. for Bruno's double. Dan says, think Pep will play a strong team against Chelsea to wrap up the league ASAP. Could rotate a lot second game if they beat Chelsea. Yeah, I think this one is what I'd agree with. I think Pep will go strong against Chelsea, fairly strong. There could be, I do expect players like Grealish and Bernardo to get rotated out, if I'm being honest. Because when you say strong team, the problem with City, any team really, they play the strong team. Like even players like, players like Mahrez, Foden, these are the rotated players coming in. They've got quality on the bench, so still be a strong team, even their bench players. So yeah, I do expect a couple of rotations, but I expect players like Haaland, etc., to still play 90 minutes, potentially 70 minutes, 80 minutes, get most of the minutes. But yeah, I think second game against Brighton was where we could see like Ederson potentially missing out, etc. If they wrap it up. We'll do our score predictions soon, I think. Obviously, there is quite a few fixtures. I think we'll do them now. Actually, I'm gonna pull up. I'll get the fixtures up on the screen now, and then we'll do a few score predictions, and then we'll also take some of your questions. If you guys do have any questions regarding your teams, just drop them in, and we'll answer all of them as the best as we can. So yeah, Jordan, let's start off with the first fixture for today. Obviously, Spurs kicking off. Spurs kicking off at home to Brentford, 12:30 kickoff. Spurs can still get. I'm just looking at the league table. Obviously, Spurs look like. Where are they in the table? They are currently 7th, so playing for. I mean, they're probably going to be in the Conference League. They're just below Brighton, but they do have a game played more. Where do you see this one going? Spurs, Brentford.
Well, Brentford's without Ivan Toney, so
Yep.
it does put their chances of goal scoring a bit down a bit for Brentford. And with Harry Kane being consistent, maybe Spurs do win this. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
Okay. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think. Actually, I'm going to go for a Brentford win. I think I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. I've been watching a bit of Spurs recently, and they just don't look great. Apart from Harry Kane, obviously still scoring the goals. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win for Brentford. Tottenham's form hasn't been great in recent weeks. Next up, we've got Manchester United away to Bournemouth. Obviously, Rashford might miss that one, it looks like. Man United need to win this one as well, as we mentioned. They should. Obviously, Man United's away form has been poor, to say the least. But, how do you see this one going, Jordan? Do you think they'll get it done?
Yeah, I think Man United get the job done. They want to secure these 3 points so they can get top 4 nice and comfortably. So I'm going to go high. I'm going to go 3-0 Man United.
Who do you see scoring the goals?
Bruno, hopefully.
I do think Man United will win, though. I know the away from hasn't been good, but I think United will get the win. But I'm going to go. I think it'll be a tight. Game. I'm going to go for 2-1 United. Next up, we got Fulham at home to Palace. Obviously, Palace have been doing a lot better in recent weeks. I don't believe Mitrovic is back yet. Or is he back for this one? But yeah,
he is back.
He's back, isn't he?
I think he scored last.
Yeah. How do you preview this one? Do you think Fulham will get the win, or Palace? Can Eze keep it up?
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace can keep up their momentum against Fulham. And Andreas is not going to be playing either in this game. Important player in that one. I'm going to go with 2-1 Crystal Palace.
2-1 Palace. I'm going to go for... Yeah, I'll go 2-1 Palace as well. I think I like Eze for this game week. So yeah, I'll go 2-1 Palace, Eze to get the goals. Moving on to Liverpool now. Was Liverpool coming off the back of the win against Leicester? I think Liverpool now are on 7 wins in a row, which is a bit mad. I think Man City are the only other team to have won 7+ in a row. Yeah, Liverpool at home. It's going to be a bit of an emotional day, I think, if you're a Liverpool fan, obviously, with a lot of players that will be leaving, like Firmino, etc. So this is their last home game. So yeah, Liverpool 7 on the bounce. Can they make it 8 wins in a row, Jordan?
Yeah, I think they can at Anfield. I don't think Liverpool are going to lose that game, especially with Aston Villa's form. They've conceded a lot of goals in their last game weeks and have pretty much dropped off. So I'm going to go with 3-1 Liverpool.
I think Liverpool will also probably win. Obviously Liverpool. I expect Liverpool to win now. The last two, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Liverpool. I think they could concede, but I do expect them to get the job done. 2-1. Wolves and Everton. Another game. Obviously, Everton looked like they could be safe. Maybe they need one more point in this one to just be sure. Wolves are pretty safe. Do you see Everton getting the win, Jordan? Or do you see Wolves getting something?
I think Everton can maybe nick something out of this game. I don't think they can get a win.
Oh, Everton need to win, actually. They're on 32 points. So it's a big
game.
game.
They're going to try and push for that win, Everton, like they did with Brighton. But I'm going to see a draw in this. I'm going to go with 2-2.
Okay, I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for an Everton win, I think. I think Everton might win and they'll secure top safety, I should say, after this game. So I'm going to go 2-1 Everton away win. And finally, today's last game is actually Nottingham Forest at home to Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal, the league is pretty much over. Man City, all they need is a win. If Arsenal lose against Forest, obviously the league will be done anyway. Arsenal just need to get their couple of last wins now and finish the season off. Obviously, they've had a good season, but the league is a step too far. Do you think Arsenal can get the win, Jordan, against Forest?
Yeah, I think they can get the win. From not Forest, I see no reason why they can't win that game away. They'll still try and push as much as they can for points after their amazing season they've had. So I've got to go with 4-0 Arsenal. Let's see if they can finish it strong.
4-0, okay. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna predict something a bit, maybe a shock result. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. For Forest and Arsenal. I think there could be a stalemate in this one. I don't know why I think that, but yeah, I think it could be a draw. Moving on to Sunday. We've got West Ham up against Leeds. Leeds are obviously fighting for their life down at the bottom. They're currently in the top three, in the bottom three. So they are in the relegation places. They need to win. Obviously, that Everton and Leeds, they're only 1 point separating them. So it's a big game for Leeds. But West Ham are doing quite well as well. Obviously, West Ham going to the final in the Conference League after that win. Is there rotation potentially on Sunday? But do you see West Ham getting the win, Jordan, or do you see Leeds getting something with Sam Allardyce after their decent performance, obviously getting the draw to Newcastle last game out?
Yeah, it's pretty weird because despite West Ham reaching the finals in a cup match, they're fighting for relegation in the Premier League. It's just crazy. I think in terms of importance, I think they might just let the Premier League go. West Ham, unless they really want to fight for it. I could probably see Leeds winning that game. I think there's more purpose for them to win it. I'm going to go with 2-1 Leeds, I think.
Wow, that would be a big win for Leeds because they need it to stay up. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, I think. I think Leeds might get another point this week against West Ham. Obviously, West Ham coming off that win in the Conference League semi-final. So I think they could rotate. They could be a bit tired, but yeah, I'll go 1-1. Moving on to Brighton and Southampton. Brighton at home. They've also had a brilliant season. They are currently sixth, so they are chasing for a Europa League spot. They need to win. Obviously, Spurs behind them only by a point. Do you think Brighton get the job done? Obviously, Southampton are already relegated, so they've not really got anything to play for now, as well.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much easy for Brighton to get the job done. Southampton, as we said, have nothing more to play for apart from obviously their
No pride.
pride. That's the word. Pride for finishing strong. I'm gonna go with 2-0 Brighton.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a two. No, I should go for a 3-0 win for Brighton. I think there could be some goals in this one. And then finally on Sunday, we've got Man City up against Chelsea. Man City at home, where they could win the title in front of their own fans at home. So that will be nice for City, I guess. City are on course for a treble now as well. So it's going to be an exciting time for a City fan. So yeah, where do you see this one going? Obviously, Chelsea haven't been good at all this season. Chelsea are sitting 11th place right now, which is quite disappointing to say the least. Do you see any hope for Chelsea?
As much as I want to see some upset, I don't think we're going to get it against Chelsea of all teams. So yeah, you could easily see that Man City winning this game without much struggle, I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with 3-1 Man City. I think get the job done, wrap up the title.
I'm going to think it's an easy Man City win as well, but I'm going to go 3-0. I think Man City will keep a clean sheet. So yeah, hopefully as Edison owners, we get some more points this week. I don't really see Chelsea scoring against Man City. Monday night fixture, Newcastle at home to Leicester. I think Newcastle win secures top 4. So it's a big game for Newcastle to get Champions League football and confirm it really in front of their home crowd. Leicester are in. I think I worry for Leicester. I think they probably will go down and they need to get something. It's unlikely. So what do you think it will be against Newcastle, Leicester?
Yeah, I think with Leicester pretty much relegated in trouble. I think Newcastle will push at home for their top 4 spot, secure that, and finish off strong there in that position. So I'm going to go with a massive Newcastle win, and I'm going to go with 4-0 Newcastle.
4-0.
Yep.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 Newcastle win, I think. I do expect Newcastle to win that one and then get top 4 and probably finish third now as well in the season. And moving on to Brighton at home to Man City. Man City could already have won the title by now, so there could be some rotation in this game. How do you see this one going, Jordan? Wednesday, that is. The double game week fixtures.
I mean, this is we expect Man City to win against Chelsea and see the massive rotation for this Brighton game. Maybe Man City don't win this game just purely on rotation, but then again, they still have a decent B team without the pros on the squad. I'm gonna go with I'll go with a Man City win, but I still see goals from Brighton. I'm gonna go 3-2 Man City.
What was that?
3-2 Man City.
Oh, goals then. I'm going to go for a. I don't know. It's hard to say because Man City do rotate massively. It depends what players they bring in. If they've won the league, so I'm going to go for a. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Man City win. If there's rotation in that game as expected. And then finally, Thursday is the end of game week 37. And that is Man United at home to Chelsea. Obviously, Man United need to win this one as well. In a bit of a must-win, but Man United have been better at home. Do you see them winning against Chelsea, Jordan, on Thursday evening?
Yeah, I think they can still win against Chelsea. I think Man United have been strong at home more, obviously, this season than they have been away. And Chelsea have struggled, whether they've been home or away. So yeah, I'm going to go with a comfortable Man United win, even though it's a big game for them, and say 2-0 Man United.
Um, yeah, I mean, this is an interesting game. Man United's Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea, you don't know what you're going to get from Chelsea. Man United have something to play for as well. So yeah, I think Man United will win this one, especially because it's at home. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Man United. And then let's. So those are the fixes out of the way, really. Also, thanks Colm for the reminder. It is a 15-minute deadline warning, guys. So you got 15 minutes to make your move. So make sure you get them locked in. Get your bench order correct, your captaincy, all that stuff. Jenny Berry says you'll never walk alone. Have a good week, everyone. Yep. Hope you have a good weekend as well. Missed a few comments. Hi guys, hope you are well. Just decide to take a -4 of Shaw and Alvarez in for Mitchell and Isaac. I have saved my free hit for Game Week 38, so time to have a bit of fun. Yeah, I like those moves. Shaw, Alvarez in, and yeah, free hit. You've still got it left. Could be a nice little differential. You know, you could pick like very nice differentials of like players like Eze, etc. That final game, we can have a bit of fun. So yeah, that could work out for you. Felix Fleming taking Watkins and Grealish out, Isaac and one midfielder in. I'm not sure I'd be bringing Isaac in. You know, I'd rather bring in a Man City attacker probably, or even someone like a Martial, even though I'm not too fond of him. I have 7.6 million. I think Martial. What do you make of Martial?
You don't know what you're going to get from Martial, if I'm honest.
I mean, he did score against Wolves when Man United needed that goal. It wasn't look like they were going to. The other players weren't going to finish their chances, like Anthony, etc. And he did pop up with the goal. So, but you don't really know with Martial. Really, he might be injured even at this rate, like because he doesn't miss games. But if you are chasing, I would be tempted, possibly. You know, if you need to make up rank.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing to lose if you're chasing rank, and going for Martial could be that one where it could pay off. He does come off of one goal from his last game week, and he's probably expected to play in the double. So yeah, I mean, you could work Martial.
Good midfielder under 6.7, or shall I just keep Mahrez and replace Stones? Just worried about their minutes. I'd keep Mahrez for sure. I think he's a good pick. Stones could go to someone like Luke Shaw if you don't have him. Luke Shaw is the one, I think. But yeah, back to our teams. I'm just gonna share my team now with you guys. But yeah, 10 minutes or so to go for the deadline. And yeah, this FPL season is coming to a close. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like the season's gone quite quick. I've enjoyed the football this year. But yeah, obviously as a Liverpool fan, it's not been that great. But I still enjoyed it. Even in FPL, it's not been too great for me compared to last season when I finished in a better rank. But yeah, it's still enjoyable nonetheless. And yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the season in terms of FPL. And yeah, it's coming to a close. Game Week 38 next week, and then we'll do it all over again really after a break in the summer. Roberto the Hornet, guys, got 20-point gap to make up on a mini league rival. Captain Alvarez or Mahrez over Haaland. Jordan, I'll let you take this one.
Captain Alvarez or Mahrez over Haaland. I would probably, if I had Alvarez or Mahrez, I'd probably captain Alvarez over Haaland if I had to pick that. I think you got more chance of Alvarez. I think playing maybe more minutes. It's hard to know that actually, though.
I think Mahrez gets more minutes, but
yeah,
we don't know really. But yeah, I'm assuming you go Alvarez.
Yeah, if you got Alvarez and you want to try and make up that 20-point gap, probably captain Alvarez over Mahrez.
Yeah, I like Mahrez. As I said, I think he's got 5 or 6 assists. So with 5 assists in his last like 6 games. Not goals. He hasn't scored, I don't think, the last couple of games. But Mahrez is a very high ceiling player if he starts. So I like Mahrez for sure. Um, um, but yeah, guys, make sure you are subscribed as well to the channel. I think we just passed 800 subscribers. The next target is 900. I'm not sure we can get there now before the end of the season, but if we can, that would be great. Also, share the video as well if you can on your socials, and make sure you guys drop a like on the video because that always helps out the channel. But yeah, we're all locked in.
Yeah, as best we can be. Considering who's play over in the bench, Gibbs White or the Hillman at the first bench.
I mean, Kilman has Everton, could be decent because Wolves don't concede that many goals.
I'm actually, you know what, I could see something. I put Gibbs White there.
Fair enough.
Why not? It's got, even though he's got Arsenal at home, you never know.
Yeah, I actually think Nottingham Forest might get something against Arsenal. I don't know. It's just a feeling, really.
I mean, he might not come on anyway if Rashford plays and Trippier plays. Actually, he can't come off Trippier.
Yeah.
It would be Kilburn. So that works.
Mm-hmm. Felix says Watkins out, Alvarez probably in. I have 8.5 million in the bank for a midfielder after taking Grealish out. Anyone I should be defo having. I mean, if you're looking for a Man City midfielder, I would be punting on Mahrez as a differential because I think he will start at least one of those games. And when he starts, as we've seen, he does get assists. He does get involved. You know, he's also a goal threat, high upside player. So I like Mahrez. I bought Mahrez in a few weeks ago with this game week in mind as well. And he also paid it off straight away for me. I bought him in and got 2 assists for Gundogan. I think Gundogan maybe with the goals he's scoring in recent weeks could be a nice punt, but I'd expect him to get rotated in one of those fixtures, possibly even both. But yeah, I think I'm sorted. I'm not going to make any moves. It's been a bit, maybe a boring move, like in terms of not doing anything. What about next week, Jordan? If we're looking at it early on, what's your plans? Because obviously you'll have one free transfer next week, won't you? Have you looked at your team will look like next week?
No, I haven't. Not sure what my team actually looks like next week, but obviously it's all singles. This is the last double game week, so and I do have a lot of money considering. I'm just going to check actually how much money I have in the bank. I know it's pretty much a lot. I did take out De Bruyne, and I've got 5.2 million in the bank, so there's a lot of money, cash spare to use on a free transfer. I was tempted to bring in Harry Kane in the last game week because even though he's not a complete differential, his ownership has dropped off quite a bit, and I feel like he's not really been a bit underlooked. Maybe in his last fixture, I'm not sure who Tottenham have in the last fixture, but let me just have a quick look and see. They do have Leeds away in the last fixture, so it's not a bad game to go with a Spurs player. I could even go with Son, just to be even more different. But even though Son hasn't been great this season, there's a chance he could do something against Leeds. I mean, I could go Son instead of Kane.
Also, if you guys didn't realize, before I put it on before I let you guys know, I actually have just moved out Trippier from my team. I've moved him out for Isak. So I am playing Isak now. Trippier, because of the flag, slight doubt. So you know what? I'm going to play Isak and stick to my tradition of playing the attacking player ahead of the defender. So yeah, Isak is in the team. Trippier's on the bench, first bench. So yeah, we'll see if that pays off. And yeah, Leicester, I think our Liverpool did look quite comfortable against Leicester in the end, and Isak could pay off. So yeah, we'll see. Wilson or Isak? I would go Wilson because he plays down the middle. And he's on penalties, as we saw. Getting 2 penalties against Leeds helped massively for him in terms of getting a goal return. And then even against in the last game, I forgot who they had. Obviously, Wilson scored due to, I think, playing in the middle, getting the more chances. His goal involvement is a bit higher, I think. So yeah, I think Wilson preferred for me. But yeah, I'm gonna play Isak.
Yeah, that's the slight edge I think for Wilson. He's on penalties.
Yeah,
If he wasn't there, he's pretty much neutral with Isak. But because he scored 2 penalties in his last game week, that's obviously siding just over to Wilson just because of that.
yeah. Yeah, and obviously the fact that Isak plays out on the left. Also, guys, in terms of Game Week 38, really, last like game week punts, who would you take? Obviously, season's about to end. Last game week to climb rank. Who are you looking at? Because obviously, I'm looking at Eze potentially against Forest at home. Could be a nice move. Harry Kane against Leeds could be decent. Arsenal at home to Wolves final day could be a good fixture as well to target. If we're talking about Game Week 38, Fazid Ali -8 for Estupinan, not worth it, right? Yeah, I wouldn't take a -8 for Estupinan. I don't think. Got Mahrez, Alvarez, and McAllister for a -4. Yeah, I think that's fine. I wouldn't take the 8 for the -8. I don't think. I see Salah actually. Mo Salah at the captaincy option against Southampton. I'm looking at potentially to gain some rank because I am chasing. Anyone else, Jordan, that you want to target last game week that you're looking to bring in?
Well, as I did mention, you could go for one of the Spurs players because they do have Leeds who have struggled. Could go with Son, maybe Perisic, or if you want to go slightly less different, Harry Kane. His ownership has dropped. So I'll be looking at a Spurs player in the last game week.
Yeah, Spurs could do well against Leeds, but obviously Leeds are fighting as well at home if they need to get a point. I think Harry Kane will be the obvious one probably. Most people look to potentially bring in. Good luck, gents. Good luck everyone in the stream. Hope you have a good game week and you get the green arrows that you want. Hamza says he can't make his transfers and there's an error. I just made my moves a couple of minutes ago, or I did a bench order and it was fine. You might want to refresh and just keep trying again.
Yeah, it's working on the phone.
Yeah.
Maybe try the phone, Hamza.
Yeah, I just did it on the app, on the website, and it was fine. Play Kepa or Steele? Probably Steele.
Steele. 100% Steele.
Yeah. Steele's got Southampton in one of the fixtures, hasn't he?
Yeah, and his first one at home, and he's got Man City at home. So if Man City do rotate, he does look a bit more attractable, or more appealing still.
Felix, Watkins and Grealish out for Mahrez and Martial confirmed. Haaland captain. Good luck all. Yeah, good luck everyone in the chat. You've got about a minute now, I think, to the deadline. A few seconds, I should say. But yeah, we're probably going to wrap it up here as soon as the deadline goes, unless anyone's got any other questions to ask. That's been it really from the Game Week 37, Double Game Week 37 deadline stream, where we're back again tomorrow. Deadline is actually up now. And yeah, we're back tomorrow at what time? About 7 p.m. UK time. Actually, as always, for the knee-jerk stream where we react to Game Week 37. So make sure you do join us tomorrow. For that one, it should be a good one. pretty much the last knee jerk, really, like last proper knee jerk. Because obviously, after the game week after, we're gonna do like a season preview. Because obviously, game week 38 will come to an end. So, yeah, that's it from us. See you tomorrow for the knee jerk. Hamza says I captained Haaland, was tempted with Bruno. What about you guys? We're both on Haaland, really.
Yeah, I think just to be safe with Haaland having, especially the double as well. Going against Haaland, especially the double, could be costly to rank. So I think playing it safe with Haaland is, unless you want to go risky. Fernandez, it is tempting.
Yeah, I mean, if you're chasing now, it does make sense to go different, I think, possibly. But yeah, anyway, we are going to wrap it up here. That has been the deadline stream. We hope to see you guys tomorrow, as I mentioned. Anything else you'd like to add, Jordan, before we do head out?
Good luck, everyone, this week. Hopefully your moves and plans have worked out for your team, and hopefully you get a good score. So take care, and we'll see you in the knee jerk to see how well we've done in game week 37.
Yep. See you guys. Have a good weekend as well. Take care.